like, oh yeah, about that, we just sold the car. Hey guys, it's Alessandra and we have a story to tell you. Hopefully you'll learn something from this. Yeah, just don't do what we're about to tell you. But we're gonna start from the beginning, so how did this whole thing start? So we're looking for cars for Sohila.
We are okay. I really didn't think that this was gonna be like the ghetto. Wait, can I even say ghetto on YouTube? I've never had my own car, so I have recently acquired some money. So I was like, oh my god, I need to go buy myself a car. So I've been looking at like different dealerships and I've been looking at like different cars or whatever. And I've been talking to like one of Alessandra's friends who's really good with cars, and he was saying like the best thing to do right now at least is basically to just buy a car from somebody who's selling it.
Like a private dealer, not like a dealership, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so kind of like somebody was just like selling like their old car that they just like don't really want anymore. I went on Facebook and I was just like, okay, like let me check out a couple cars. So I've always wanted my own convertible for some weird reason. I love convertibles. I found a Volkswagen convertible that we went to go check out in Hillside, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one ended up being sold like right off the bat, so like we didn't even get to see it.
I don't know, but I'm nervous. I'm scared. We pull up on like the random side of the highway and that's, I don't know.
They're like strange men.
I'm nervous.
On the side of the road. I'm kind of scared to get out. I might leave my bag here. Okay, let's just get out.
Should I bring my bag?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring mine.
Okay.
So he knows we mean business.
I'm nervous. Hopefully we don't die. Like we literally got there. We were terrified, first of all. We jump out of the car. This guy's sitting there with no mask.
Yeah, he's just like sitting there. And we're like, okay.
Yeah, and we do like, this isn't the best of areas. So me and her are like, yay, with our little like bags. And we're like, what's up?
And we got like organic juices like right before.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. And we're like with our little green juice of like cayenne pepper. We're like, yes, for our health. And we jump out and he's like, hello? And we're like, we have an appointment. And he's like, oh yeah, about that,
we just sold the car.
but she had an appointment earlier and they changed it on her. So in my mind, I think that they were just like, we still want you to come in, but like not like lose a sale. And I'm like, well, your cars are crap besides the one that we wanted. So
Yeah.
we did not get it. And there was like a tornado while we were standing there.
Oh my god, yeah, there was like a random tornado and the guy was like, oh my god, move, get away from the windows. And I was like, what?
Some guy goes, a hurricane. I was like, honey, that's not a hurricane. That is a tornado. That was insane. We don't get those around here.
So that was car number one, and then we kept looking, well I kept looking on Facebook, and then I found another guy with a little Toyota convertible, and everybody was telling me, they're like, oh, like a really good first car would be like a Toyota or Honda. So I found a cute little Toyota in New York, so
No, tell them where.
in Queens.
The biggest corona hotspot of where we are. In Queens, New York.
So I texted Al and I was like, oh my god, hey, like, do you want to go check out this car tomorrow? And she was like, yeah, sure. We got in the car and we're like, yes, we're gonna go check out this car, whatever. I brought a little bit of money with me because I didn't want to spend like every little penny I had, but at the same time I was like, oh my god, like if this car works out, I'm gonna be so fucking happy.
And from the bat, my dad was like, where are you going to go see this car?
Yeah, everybody was kind of like, what are you guys doing?
I told my dad, I was like, I don't know. So I jump in the car. I'm like, let's go to Queens. We don't have to tell them. We know what we're doing. We're professionals.
Yeah, we are mechanics. Why would we listen to anyone?
No.
So we got to Queens and the guy is super nice, like right off the bat. If this man is watching this video, I am so sorry. You're so nice. We kind of just figured like there's nothing wrong with the car.
But in my mind, I'm like, they have to kind of be nice because it's like, he's selling us something, so he's gonna be like, like he kept like pulling little things. He was like,
Oh, like, you two are just so gorgeous, like you won me over with your beauty.
yeah, I'm like, relax, like,
He kept
you
telling
know.
us we were pretty.
And then
My
when
ego.
he offered, no, he had like a selling price, and we were trying to obviously like bargain with him, and he's
Like, I can't do that. Oh, we have some girl in Connecticut, like, trying to get the car.
like, yeah, okay, like call her up on the phone, let me see what she says.
But yeah, so we go check out the car and it's like, it looks really nice. It's really clean for a used car. No lights turned on the dashboard. The little top came off pretty fine. So
The drop top.
The drop top, you know, came off very comfortably. So we were just like, oh my god, like there's nothing wrong with this car.
We test drove it.
We test drove it and everything, and it was completely fine. There was like a little ringing noise like in the back, but like we kind of just like ignored it. I don't know why we ignored it.
I didn't. I was like, what's that noise?
He's like, I don't know. He's like, roll up the windows.
Clearly you're not gonna hear the noise with the windows up. And I was like, what's wrong with you? And then he had a sombrero in the back. Don't forget the sombrero.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Does the car come with the sombrero?
he's like,
Yeah.
he like drove it while we were test driving it. I was like,
So we called up one of her friends and he like heard the engine like over the phone. He was like, oh, it sounds pretty good. It kind of had a lot of, it had like 150,000 miles on it. For some reason we were kind of just like, let's ignore that fact. There's nothing wrong with her. We ended up buying the car. So we purchased the car. And I did not know this. I don't really know anything about cars. I've never even been to a dealership before up until recently. He kept saying,
Oh my goodness, like I can't let you guys take it back to New Jersey. I can't let you guys take it back to New Jersey.
so in my head I was confused because I kind of figured like, okay, if you get pulled over, can't you just say,
Hey, like I just purchased this car.
like I didn't know that when you buy a car at a dealership they gave you like temporary plates and like temporary stuff so you could get it back to your house legally.
when she said that, I was like, it's okay, like I'll drive it, because if this one got arrested in front of me, she'd actually melt on the floor and start foaming at the mouth. So I was like, if I get arrested, like I think I'll handle it a little bit better.
Yeah.
So we were now partaking in something really illegal, especially in Queens.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
So I jumped in the car to leave, and this man was so nervous. He's like,
Oh my god, like please, like do this, do that.
meanwhile she's like taking my car back, and she's like, hey guys, got a new car, oh my god, look! And I'm like, Sohila, like
I
just
FaceTimed
follow me.
Luke and everything. I was like, oh my god, I just bought a new car. And like the look on his face, he was kind of just like, what? Like he had like that happy, like I'm so proud of you moment, but also like, what did you just do?
Yeah, yeah, I don't even have words.
Oh my god, but do you remember he was trying to convince us to pay for him to like ship it over?
Oh yeah, I was like,
So
you're not
Jersey.
getting any more money. And you'll hear why in the end, why we're not giving him any more money at all.
We bring the car back and we
Wait,
drive
I
it
have
back.
to tell my encounter on the way back.
Oh yeah, I wasn't in
Yeah.
the car on the way back, so I don't know anything about it.
So the minute I get in the car, I go to make the right. This Range Rover, brand new Range Rover, blacked out, windows down, the temporary license plate is on his car too. I'm like, that's what we should have, but we don't. And he like waves me down, and I'm like, oh, here we go. So I turn away, and he's following me now. Like, this man made a quick U-turn in the middle of the road to follow me, and she's like lost. I'm like, where did she go? And so he pulls aside me, and he goes,
Yo, like I just want to tell you, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Can I get those digits?
and I was like, so the first thing in my head, I was like, I'm 17, this is my first car, I'm underage. I've never seen a man pull away so fast in my life. Like, this man skirted down the street. So I was like, okay. Now my next mission was to find a gas station, because this car was about to just shut down in the street.
I can't believe you sold it to us with no gas.
Oh, I know. I was like, huh? And so then we pull up to the gas station, and she finally finds me. And then I'm sitting there for like a good 10 minutes, and I forgot that we're not in Jersey anymore. You need to pump your own gas. So everyone's looking at the little white girl pumping her gas in Queens, New York. I'm like, hey, how y'all doing?
Hey. How y'all doing?
And I'm pumping the gas, and I was like, can we get out of here? We start driving it. You're
Yeah.
like still, how do you like waving through me at the windows? I'm like, hi, Sohila, I'm about to get pulled over. And so we start doing like 70. We're going over like the George Washington Bridge. The car starts shaking. I'm like, oh.
And I'm not in the car, like I'm in her car driving back home, like so excited, so happy, like finally have my own car.
And I'm sitting there. It's a hot day too. I'm trying to turn on the air, nothing's working.
Yeah,
I'm
air
like,
was not
the
working.
steering wheel's doing this, and I'm like, oh dear God, like if the wheels start flying off, I'm like, Sohila's not even gonna be paying attention. She's like, la la la, new car, yay. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, how am I gonna break the news to her when we get to my house? So we finally get home, and she's like, let me look at the car. I'm like, yeah, picture time. We take the picture. It's
And
so
I
great.
post it on Instagram. We're so happy.
She's like, new whip, new me. So then my dad, he instantly is like,
There's something wrong.
yeah. No, but he starts screaming at me. He's like,
You bought the car?
and I'm like, yeah, no, it's fine, it's fine. He goes,
How'd you get it back here?
I'm like, I drove it. And he's like, you do realize you could have gotten arrested, right? And I'm like, yeah, well. He's like,
You better not do that again.
I was like, okay. And then he goes, I guarantee you that this car is a salvage title.
A salvage title.
And I'm like, nah, I don't
yeah,
even know
it's
what that is. I'm like, nah, you're fine, we're fine.
It's because he asked us how much we got it for.
Oh yeah.
And we got it for $3,200.
Yeah, and the man listed it for 38.
So the next day, I was hanging out with Luke, and his dad is actually a mechanic. So I was talking to him like about like this car, like I just bought this car, like I really want his dad to like check it out for me just to make sure like there's nothing wrong with it, because I don't really think other mechanics are open right now. His dad starts asking me like all of these questions, and I'm kind of like, I don't know the answer to any of these questions you're asking.
Which
me.
you would normally ask if you're gonna buy a
Yeah.
car.
He was
So-
like,
Do you have a bill of sale?
and I was like, I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that means. I think I have that. I didn't sign anything. I kind of just gave the guy cash and like we left.
Like, it didn't look like legal at all. We're like, here sir, please take it.
Count in the 20s.
Might
But-
get pulled over, it's fine.
He realizes that like what we did, like we brought the car back like legally. So his parents didn't want me to just like leave the car on the street, like just in case like it got towed or like anything happened to it, and you know,
The
like,
DMV is closed.
yeah, the cops find it or something. They took the car over and they kept it like in their garage for me overnight. This is when I start having like a mental breakdown, and I'm like, oh my god, like what did I just do? Because everyone around me like keeps saying like there's something wrong with this car, like this is not right, like
And
there's
they all
something
look
wrong.
at you like, I want to be happy for you,
But like what you like
Yeah.
you fucked up. So I'm just like, what is happening? So we ended up calling one of Alessandra's friends. What was his name? Bacon?
Bacon.
We ended up
Shout out
calling
Bacon.
we ended up calling Bacon, and he was like, oh, can you send me like the paperwork? Well, we already showed Luke's dad the paperwork, and he was telling us how it was a salvage title or whatever, but we didn't really comprehend like what that meant up until we called Bacon, and he was like, send me the paperwork that you have. So I sent him pictures of it, and he was like, oh my god.
Like right off the bat, he's like, fuck. I'm like, fuck what?
He was like, oh my god, what did you two just do?
He literally looked at us like we just murdered a child. I was like, what happened? Please tell us.
So basically, if you own a salvage car in New Jersey, you cannot register it under your name. You would have to take it to like Trenton, or like your dad said like North Bergen does it too, to register it and like do like all of this crazy like extra like inspections and like all of this crazy extra registration, because it is a salvage title car. And since I am technically like a new driver, like since I'm only 20, that wasn't
The chances of it getting it like passing inspection are very slim to none. And this guy
never said that to us.
No, he was just like, we'll give you the receipts, so you like the parts will be like under your name. That was all shit talk. That's not even like something real. And so the guy was all like, apparently this guy just buys cars off of like auctions. So
Yeah,
the guy
so-
probably got the car for like maybe $500, and we paid him $3,200. So
Yeah, so we took the car to her dad's mechanic, or her
yeah,
dad
my
knows
dad's,
like a
friend.
like an auto body shop or whatever, and he was checking out the car, and he goes, this car is nowhere near worth what you paid for it. First of all, this car's gonna shit the bed in maybe a couple months. So if I were you, I would call up this man and please try to get your money back.
So now she's crying next to me.
I think I cried like at least 7 times in front of 7 different people. I cried
tears.
I cried to Luke, I cried to you like twice.
Bacon gerbil.
I cried to Gerbil on FaceTime. I almost cried in front of Luke's parents. They were probably like, oh my god, what is happening? So then I ended up going home, and I called this guy, and I was like, hey, listen. Okay, actually, mind you, we left out a part in the story. He told us when we first bought the car, he's like, if you find anything wrong with the car, even if it is super minor, bring it back to me, I will buy it back from you. Us thinking, oh yeah, like car dealers are literally like the most trusted people in the world. So I called him back and I said, listen, like I just don't feel comfortable driving this car, can I please bring it back to you? So at first he got really mad, and he was just like screaming over the phone, and I was like, oh my god, like I don't know what's going on. He was just very, very angry.
And he wasn't answering you.
Yeah, he didn't answer me for like at least like 4 tries, and then he ends up calling me back, and then we and him got into like a screaming match. And then he hung up the phone on me, called me back 5 minutes later, and he goes, okay, but the only way I'll take it back is if you bring it back to me tomorrow. Like I literally needed to bring it back to him in like 10 hours. So I was like, oh my god, I don't even know how I'm gonna bring this car back to New York. 1, during Corona, 2, during I don't even have a license plate for this car.
No.
This car is unregistered, uninsured. How am I supposed to bring this car back to him? So I guess like that's why he gave me like such a short time limit, because I guess he expected me to like not be able to bring the car back to him. So I come to Alessandra's house and I'm like, oh my god, what do we do?
So my dad has bailed us out of shitty situations before. So this is nothing new. Like me and her like hit rock bottom and we're like,
we love doing dumb shit.
It's time to ask for help, even though we hate asking for help. So then he sits us down, yells at us again, lectures us again.
He like walks to the door, slams the door, and he goes,
You, sit down.
and I'm
One
like,
idiot too. I was like, here we go.
oh my god, what did I just get myself into?
Yeah, and then he basically goes, 9 a.m. We're like, what's 9 a.m.? He goes, the both of you, bring it over to the mechanic. I don't know how you're gonna get the car there, but you're gonna get it there. And we're gonna get a dealer plate from my friend, and you're gonna be very nice to my friend. And then you're gonna buy a car from my friend as a thank you. So we're like, okay. And then he's gonna come with us and bring it back to Queens. So the next morning, 9 a.m. rolls around. We're like, here we go. We're like, we have 3 hours of sleep in us. We're dead. And we get the car, we get the dealer plates put on, and we're driving it.
We got Duncan.
Oh, we did. We got Duncan.
We got the
That was
nice
good.
Duncan.
And we were like 10 minutes late. My dad's like, where are you? I was like, I'm so sorry.
Wasn't he like, did you guys lose your clock or something?
Yeah. I was like, no, I just tossed it out the window. So now we're driving it back, and the AC is not working. Today was hotter than the last day. We're sweating. We're blasting tunes.
It was like 90 degrees.
Yeah.
We didn't have an aux, so we had to
No.
use the radio.
We're like playing like 101.1, and we're like, I always feel like somebody's watching me.
We couldn't even drive over like 50 miles per hour because the car, like the whole car would shake. Like it wasn't even like, oh, I need like a wheel alignment, like only my wheel's shaking. Like the entire vehicle is shaking back and forth. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't even know if we're gonna get there.
And my dad actually called us like literally 2 seconds away from where we had to go, and he goes,
Are we almost there yet?
I'm like, yeah, why? He
With the license plates dangling off.
I was like, okay, I'll be there in a couple minutes. So we pull up, me and her are like, we don't want to talk to this man because like we are just so fed up with him. My dad gets out and he's like talking to the guy or whatever. Me and her are just sitting in my dad's car because we're like, we need AC. So we're like, let him handle it. So my dad's like, listen, like they're stupid or whatever. And the man who sold us the car is like,
We told them to bring adult supervision.
this man has never said such a thing. And he also denied the fact that he said that if there was something wrong with the car, he would buy it right back. This man said that to us maybe 20 times. 20 times. And he goes, no, I never said that. I'm like, really? Interesting. Then they call Sohila over and he goes, listen, we're gonna deduct $200 because we're gonna keep that for like the mileage you put on the car. Meanwhile, it's like 15 miles we put on the car.
The car has 150,000 miles on it. I really don't think our 15 miles we put on the car, we're gonna make a difference with the shaking and the AC not working and God knows what else was wrong with the car.
Yeah, he can live with those 15 miles, but apparently not. So because he wanted them. So the man, before we put the dealer plate on, he had like a random temporary plate on that he found. That plate could be for the back of like the Titanic for all we know. So now my dad took that in his car. When he went to go talk to the guy, because the guy's now panicking, he goes, I can't drive this car without the plate that we gave you originally. So my dad goes, interesting. He goes, so you are teaching these 2 girls a lesson about how they should bring adults with them when they buy vehicles. So he's like, I'm gonna teach you a lesson about giving away your only license plate that you have since you need this so badly to move the car. So he goes, I'll give you a deal. Why don't you buy it back for me for $100? So the guy's like, wow, like I just got played. So he played the guy. And so in the moral of that story is we only lost $100.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we shamefully walk away. We get the car. My dad's like, let's think about other cars you're gonna get that aren't in Queens, New York and aren't salvage titles. And yeah, now we're just very disappointed because we messed up. And we really thought that we weren't going to because we were so confident.
We were like, oh my god, we're mechanics now. All of a sudden we're mechanics.
We're gonna open up a body shop next week.
Like, please show me your cars. We can tell you if there's something wrong with it.
I'm like, wow, that's smoke. I think you need blinker fluid.
Oh yeah, our windshield wipers weren't even working either.
Oh yeah, that was good.
We needed an oil change too.
Yeah, the oil was like maybe black. Like I think it was ash. Like you'd pull the thing out and it'd be like.
Do you remember he was like
ashes.
showing it to us? He goes, "This oil could get you back to New Jersey, no problem."
I looked at it and I was like,
It was literally black oil. I was like, okay, this is very
"Are you
nice.
sure about that, man?"
But yeah, moral of the story: don't buy cars from Queens with no adult.
And always ask if it's a salvage title. And always bring a mechanic or somebody who knows what they're doing. No matter how confident you may think you are or how knowledgeable you think you are, just don't do it. You will get played.
We got played.
We got played. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't wait to tell more of our stories of when we mess up because it's bound to happen. Yeah, if you like these types of videos, give me a thumbs up and comment down below whatever you want. And subscribe for more videos. Alright.
And follow me on Instagram.
Yes, it'll be all in the thingy below. Alright, see you guys next week. Bye.